Hello, and welcome back. Or just welcome, depending on if you've ever been here before. I just assume that this is, the 99th time you see me. Which doesn't make any Anyway, in today's video, we're going to continue experimenting with this spring tank. If you didn't see my last video, which is the one I did before this one, I changed out the spring reverb tank in this amp for this one. And was amazed by how cool that was, because it was actually a change that affected the amp quite a lot, I would say. Didn't even sound like the same amp. I would actually maybe even argue. Obviously, it depends on how much. No, doesn't even matter how much of reverb you used, as long as you were above 0 reverb. It changed the amp an extreme amount. Anyway, we're not going to argue about that in this video, or at least I hope you'll take something else away from it. In today's video, I want to do a completely different experiment. And it's something that I've never seen anyone else do, but obviously maybe someone's already done this 100 times. But I'm going to assume that no one's done it, and that I'm the first person, and that I'm a genius, okay? And you have to play along. Anyway, here is a spring reverb tank. Looks like this, and it basically lets you send your guitar signal in here through the springs, which will create reverb because they vibrate differently. The signal will be turned into a wave, basically. Anyway, and then come out and back into the amp, and you'll have reverb. And you need cables that have this sort of connector on them. And I have these two cables, but on the other end, they look like this. And so, my experiment that I want to do, I want to keep that spring reverb tank the way it is, but let that one go into this tank and then come back out to the amp, so there will be two spring reverb tanks in there. And I got the idea from experimenting with delay pedals. If you've never done this, you can have two delay pedals, one going into the next one, and you can mess with having one be faster than the other, or the other being faster than the first one. And you can do weird rhythmic delay time things that are super interesting and fun. And so I'm thinking that maybe something cool will happen now. There is one flaw to this experiment, and that is that I don't have a lot of spring reverb tanks. I only have these two. I mean, I have other ones in other amps, but I'm not going to start taking all my amps apart. And they're pretty much the same size, but they do sound a lot different. If you haven't seen the video I did before, check that one out and you'll notice that there is a real big difference. But my experiment basically in this one is plugging this one in so that the signal will go into the one that is in here, go out, but not out to the amp, but out to this, and then from this one's in to this one's out, go back into the amp. Now, these cables I can't make work that way. So what I've done is I've made this little box right here. These are just 3 jacks that I've connected together, so the plus and the minus are just connected. There's nothing special. It has 3 jacks, but that's just because then I can do more with it. Turn it in by, just hot gluing together a couple of old jacks. So I'll just plug one of these in and one in like so. And now the 2 grounds on these are connected and the 2 leads on these are connected. And so if we flip this around, we can plug it in. But first, before we do that, we should play the amp stock, just so you get to hear it. I'm just gonna play it on 10, because there's no point in playing it on anything else. And we'll just do that experiment, so that you get to hear it, if you haven't seen the last video. And now it's on, and this is what it sounds like. There's almost no reverb at all in this reverb tank. I feel like maybe I should open it up and see if it's broken. Okay. Turn that off. Turn this around. Okay. So it goes in there. It goes out here. And we'll use this as the out. And this goes all the way around to this one. And the out goes to the in on this, like so. And then this gets connected there, like so. And then I just have to flip this back around without hurting myself or anyone else, for that matter. And we'll put this tank over there, like so. And we'll plug the guitar back in. And we'll start it up and see what happens. Nothing happens. That's interesting. What? What's going on? Oh, cables. What? Did I do something wrong? Sorry. I'll be right back. I'm just going to take a look at this because this is strange. I feel like it should be at least max of this new one, if you saw the last video. But it's less than both, I feel like. I don't know. I'm just going to take a look. Okay, so I went through it all just to make sure I didn't make a mistake. I did not make any mistake. Then I flipped it around. So now it's going, the amp is going into the new one, coming out, going into the old one, and then leaving the old one going back into the amp. So I feel like we'll just see what happens. This is really strange. Maybe it's just that the signal isn't powerful enough to affect it. So it becomes like it's just unplugged or something. I don't know. What happens if I have them just unplugged? Is that even anything? Maybe we can put a fuzz in there instead. To roll in, you know, some clipping diodes or something weird. You know? That could be fun. Anyway. Sometimes experiments don't go the way you thought they would. You assume that you're gonna have an awesome time and have fun, and that things are gonna be just, you know, a bunch of cool stuff happening, and that it's just gonna be even more and just, you know. But most likely the reason why I haven't seen this is because it doesn't work. But now we know. So, if you were curious if you could add 2 spring reverb tanks, you most likely can, but you can't just put it together like I just did. You probably have to put some sort of buffer or boost or, you know, change the circuit around, or maybe have them parallel so that it goes into both at the same time or something. I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video even if it was a disappointment, and that you will still give it a like, because that encouraged me to continue experimenting even if the experiments turn out to not be the greatest ideas ever. And that's more important, actually. Never give up, and to continue and just seek out new things. And yeah, if you're not subscribed, I think you should subscribe. If you at least liked the concept, like the video. And until next time, don't forget to stay awesome and cool, and go and do some experimenting of your own. Like, go do it now. Why are you still here? Oh, God. I have to do all of it. I'm gonna go.